Chosen ones, the universe just opened a case file with their name on it. Not a metaphor, not spiritual poetry. A full investigation into every single thing they did to you. The evidence is mounting, the witnesses are talking, and the verdict, it's already written in the stars. Right now, while they're scrolling through their phone pretending everything's fine, cosmic detectives are going through every betrayal, every lie, every moment they thought nobody was watching. The investigation started the second they decided to weaponize love against someone who carried divine purpose. They thought they were breaking you. Instead, they triggered something much bigger than either of you understood at the time. Here's what they never told you. When someone attacks a chosen one, it's not just personal, it becomes universal business. The same force that put you here to fulfill your mission doesn't take kindly to interference, and your ex? They didn't just interfere, they tried to derail your entire destiny. Now the universe is auditing their life like a spiritual IRS, and every karmic debt is coming due with interest. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about that breakup. This wasn't just heartbreak, this was attempted spiritual murder. And the investigation is revealing things that will make your jaw drop. Every tear you cried became evidence. Every sleepless night got documented. Every prayer you whispered in the dark. Consider it sworn testimony. Think of it this way. They played prosecutor, judge and jury in your relationship. Now they're the defendant, and the universe brought receipts. First, let's talk about what triggered this investigation. It wasn't your pain, though the universe noted every second of it. It wasn't even your prayers, though each one got filed and stamped. The investigation started because they touched something that wasn't meant for their hands. See, when the universe assigns someone to a divine mission, it doesn't just send them out unprotected. There's a spiritual security system in place, invisible to the naked eye, but more real than anything you can touch. Your ex tripped every alarm when they decided to come for you, not because you're fragile, because you're valuable. The universe doesn't investigate every broken heart. But when someone deliberately tries to destroy a light worker, that's when the cosmic courtroom opens for business. They knew who you were. Don't let them fool you with their claims of ignorance. They felt your energy the first day they met you. It's why they pursued you so hard in the beginning. Your light called to something deep inside them, something that recognized truth when it saw it. But instead of rising to meet that light, they chose to try to extinguish it. That choice is what triggered everything that's happening to them now. The investigation revealed something fascinating. Every single person they turned against you is now experiencing their own version of karma. That friend who helped them spread lies about you, going through their worst year yet. The family member who took their side without hearing yours, suddenly facing the same betrayal from someone they trusted. The new person they're with who joined in mocking your pain, already showing cracks in their perfect facade. This isn't coincidence. This is evidence of a coordinated spiritual attack that backfired spectacularly. When multiple people gang up on a chosen one, the universe doesn't just note the ringleader. Every participant gets their own file. Every accomplice gets investigated. Nobody walks away clean from attacking divine purpose. Second, the investigation uncovered their real motive, and it's darker than you imagined. This wasn't about incompatibility. This wasn't even about falling out of love. The spiritual forensics team found something sinister. Your ex was being used as a weapon by forces that wanted to stop your mission. Think back to when things started changing. The sudden coldness, the way they'd look at you like you were a stranger. The words that came out of their mouth that didn't even sound like them. That wasn't them falling out of love. That was them being influenced by energies that recognized what you carried and wanted it destroyed. You were getting too powerful. Your spiritual gifts were awakening. Your purpose was becoming clearer. And certain energies in this realm don't want chosen ones operating at full capacity, so they use the person closest to you as a Trojan horse. Your ex became the perfect vessel for this attack because they had access to your heart, your trust, your most vulnerable spaces. The investigation shows a clear timeline. Right before they turned on you, you had a spiritual breakthrough. Maybe you started seeing through illusions. Maybe you began speaking truths that made others uncomfortable. Maybe you simply started glowing too bright for the darkness around you to tolerate. That's when the whispers started in your ex's ear. Not literal whispers, but spiritual suggestions, doubts about you planted like seeds, negative thoughts about your worth, twisted interpretations of your pure intentions. They didn't resist these influences. That's the part that sealed their fate. When the universe saw them willingly partnering with darkness against one of its chosen, the investigation moved from routine to priority. They had free will. They could have chosen to protect you, to stand by you, to shield the connection from outside interference. Instead, they opened the door wide and invited every negative force to feast on what you two had built. Third, here's where the investigation gets interesting. The universe started pulling receipts, and what it found is staggering. Every lie they told about you is being exposed to people who matter, not through you saying anything, through their own actions contradicting their words. They told people you were crazy. Now they're the one having public meltdowns. They said you were too emotional. They can't get through a day without anxiety attacks. They claimed you were the toxic one. Everyone around them is starting to see the poison they carry. The universe has a poetic sense of justice. It doesn't just punish, it exposes. And right now your ex is being exposed in ways that would have seemed impossible 6 months ago. The investigation also revealed something that will blow your mind. They've been trying to recreate what you had together with other people, not just looking for someone new, literally trying to rebuild the exact dynamic you shared down to the smallest details. They're asking new partners to do things you used to do. They're trying to force moments that happened naturally with you. They're even visiting places you went together, desperately trying to recapture something they can't even name. But here's what the universe discovered in its investigation. What you brought to that relationship wasn't replicable. It wasn't just love or compatibility. You brought a frequency, a vibration that elevated everything around you. They felt like their best self with you, not because of who they were, but because of what your energy did to their energy. Now they're chasing that high with people who can't provide it, and the withdrawal is destroying them from the inside out. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. The universe is gathering its army, and every view, every share, every comment strengthens our collective power. Fourth, let me tell you what else this investigation uncovered. Your ex is under surveillance, not by human eyes, by cosmic forces that document everything. Every time they lie about what happened between you, it gets recorded. Every time they try to paint themselves as the victim, another mark goes in their file. Every time they attempt to dim your light by spreading negativity about you, the universe adds another charge to their spiritual indictment. They think they're getting away with it because you're not fighting back. They mistake your silence for weakness, your peace for defeat. But your silence is actually testimony. Your refusal to engage in their low vibrational warfare is evidence of your divine nature. The universe doesn't need you to defend yourself. It's been building a case this whole time, and the evidence is overwhelming. Watch what happens next. People who believe their version of events will start questioning things. Conversations they thought were private will somehow become public. The mask they've been wearing will crack in front of exactly the right people at exactly the wrong time. This isn't revenge, this is revelation. The truth has a way of surfacing when divine justice is involved. The investigation has also revealed their biggest fear, you thriving without them. Every success you achieve feels like a verdict against them. Every moment of joy you experience without them is proof they were the problem, not you. They check your social media obsessively, not because they miss you, but because they need to know if you're falling apart without them. And every time they see you rising, it's like another nail in the coffin of their false narrative. Fifth, the universe discovered something during this investigation that explains everything. Your ex didn't just betray you, they betrayed themselves. See, when someone connects with a chosen one, they get upgraded, their spiritual DNA starts changing, they begin operating at a higher frequency. Life starts working in their favor in ways that seem miraculous. But here's the catch. This upgrade only works if they honor the connection. The moment they betray it, not only do they lose the upgrade, they drop below where they started. It's like someone who's been breathing pure oxygen, suddenly getting cut off and sent to a room with no air. The crash is devastating. Right now, your ex is experiencing that crash. Nothing works like it used to. Opportunities that used to flow naturally now require extreme effort. People who used to support them are mysteriously absent. Even their health is affected. Random pains, unexplained fatigue, a general sense that something is fundamentally wrong. That's not bad luck. That's the consequence of disconnecting from divine favor. The investigation shows they've tried everything to get that feeling back. New relationships, new habits, even trying to adopt your spiritual practices. They're probably into meditation now, or suddenly interested in the same books you used to read. But it's not working because they're trying to access the benefits without the authenticity. They want the upgrade without honoring what provided it. Sixth, here's where the investigation takes a shocking turn. The universe found evidence of premeditation. This wasn't a relationship that naturally fell apart. Your ex planned their exit while still pretending to love you. They were already entertaining other options while looking you in the eyes and making promises. They were building their escape route while you were building a future. But that's not even the worst part. The investigation revealed they deliberately tried to break you before they left. They wanted to ensure you'd be too damaged to recover, too broken to shine. They systematically attacked your confidence, questioned your reality, made you doubt your own perceptions. This wasn't just a bad breakup. This was psychological warfare designed to eliminate a spiritual threat. Why would they do this? Because they knew something you're only now beginning to understand. You were about to outgrow them in ways that would have been undeniable. Your season of elevation was approaching, and they could feel it. Rather than celebrate your upcoming victory, they tried to sabotage it. Rather than rise with you, they tried to pull you down to their level. When that didn't work, they tried to destroy you entirely. The universe has documented every single tactic they used: the gaslighting, the silent treatments, the emotional manipulation, the strategic withdrawal of affection, the calculated attempts to make you feel crazy for expecting basic respect. All of it has been entered into evidence, and the verdict is clear. They didn't just fail as a partner, they failed as a human being. Seventh, let's talk about what the investigation revealed about their current situation. They're living in a hell of their own making, not metaphorically, literally. Their life has become a series of small failures that add up to a massive collapse. The job that seemed so promising, problems everywhere. The new relationship they rushed into, already showing signs of toxicity. The friends they thought would always have their back, starting to see through the facade. But here's the part that really gets them. They can't figure out why nothing's working. They're doing all the same things that used to bring success. They're following all the same patterns that used to generate results. But it's like the universe changed the locks, and their old keys don't work anymore. That's because those weren't their keys. They were accessing success through your spiritual account, and now that account is closed to them. The investigation shows they've been trying to hack back into your energy. Those random texts they send, attempts to re-establish connection, the times they accidentally show up where you are, not accidents. They're trying to get close enough to siphon your energy again, but the universe has placed a spiritual restraining order on them. They can get physically close, but energetically they're locked out forever. 8. The universe found something in their digital footprint that's absolutely damning. They've been stalking your growth while pretending to be thriving. Their search history is full of your name. Their private conversations are full of references to you. They compare everyone to you, and everyone falls short. They're haunted by your absence in ways they'll never admit publicly. The investigation revealed their new relationship is just a performance. They're not in love. They're in compensation mode, trying to prove to themselves and others that they upgraded. But the universe sees through performances. It knows they cry when certain songs come on. It knows they can't sleep without replaying memories. It knows they've saved every picture, every message, every piece of evidence that you existed in their life. Meanwhile, you've actually moved on, not just to someone new, but to someone you've become. The investigation shows your energy signature has completely transformed. You're vibrating at frequencies they can't even perceive anymore. You're operating in dimensions they don't have access to. You've become everything they feared you would become, everything they tried to prevent. And the beautiful part, you did it without even trying to prove anything to them. Ninth, here's what the investigation uncovered about the other people involved. Remember those friends who suddenly turned against you? Those family members who chose sides without knowing the full story? The universe has files on all of them. They thought they were just supporting your ex. What they actually did was participate in an attack on divine purpose. Now watch what's happening to each of them. Mysterious fallouts in their own relationships, sudden betrayals from people they trusted, the exact type of pain they helped inflict on you, returning to their own lives with interest. The universe doesn't forget accomplices. Everyone who participated in your pain has been marked for their own serving of karma. But here's the divine twist. Some of them are starting to wake up. They're beginning to see your ex's true nature. The stories aren't adding up. The behavior they're witnessing doesn't match the narrative they were sold. One by one, they're realizing they were used as weapons against someone who never deserved it. And that realization is eating them alive. The investigation shows several of them want to reach out to you. They want to apologize, to explain, to somehow make amends, but they're afraid. They know they participated in something evil, and they don't know how to face that. The universe is using their guilt as part of their karma. They have to live with knowing they helped destroy something beautiful based on lies. 10th, let me reveal what the investigation found about your protection. Every attack they sent your way was absorbed by a spiritual shield you didn't even know you had. The universe doesn't send chosen ones into battle without armor. You were protected even when you felt most vulnerable. Those nights you should have broken but didn't. That was divine intervention. Those moments you should have given up but found strength from nowhere. That was your cosmic security detail. The investigation shows multiple attempts to completely destroy you that failed for reasons your ex still can't understand. They threw everything at you. Emotional manipulation, social sabotage, psychological warfare, even spiritual attacks. But you kept standing, you kept rising, you kept glowing, and it drove them insane. They couldn't understand how someone they hurt so badly could keep getting stronger. Here's what they don't know. Every attack made you more powerful. Every betrayal activated another gift. Every lie they told about you awakened another level of your purpose. The universe was using their attacks as training for your destiny. You weren't being broken, you were being forged. You weren't being destroyed, you were being prepared for something they could never comprehend. The investigation revealed that your ex actually accelerated your spiritual evolution. By forcing you to face the darkness, they inadvertently pushed you toward your light. By trying to dim your shine, they caused you to discover you're actually a sun. You're now operating at levels that would have taken years to reach if they hadn't forced this transformation through their betrayal. 11th, here's the most shocking thing the investigation uncovered. Your ex knows they're under investigation, not consciously, but spiritually. They feel the walls closing in. They sense the karma approaching. They wake up with a feeling of dread they can't explain. They go to sleep with anxiety that has no apparent source. That's their spirit, recognizing that justice is coming. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening in their world right now. 3 a.m. hits different when you're under cosmic investigation. That's when the spiritual subpoenas get served. That's when their soul can't hide behind the ego's noise anymore. They jolt awake, heart racing, searching their phone for something, anything that might explain this crushing weight on their chest. But no notification can explain what's happening in the spiritual realm. The universe revealed something fascinating about these midnight panics. Their spirit is trying to confess. It wants to come clean about what they did to you, but their ego keeps shutting it down, keeps building walls, keeps creating new lies to cover old ones. This internal war is literally tearing them apart from the inside. Their body knows they're guilty. Their soul knows they're guilty. Only their mind keeps fighting the truth, and it's a battle they're losing every single night. The investigation documented their desperate attempts to find peace. They've tried everything. New relationships that last about as long as a Netflix trial. Meditation apps they delete after one session because sitting still with their thoughts feels like torture. They even tried therapy. But how do you tell a therapist that you feel like the universe itself has turned against you? How do you explain that every good thing in your life started dying the moment you betrayed someone who loved you with their whole soul? The investigation shows they've been trying to make amends with the universe. Sudden interest in charity, random acts of kindness that feel forced, posting spiritual quotes they don't really understand. They're trying to balance the scales, but it doesn't work that way. You can't commit spiritual crimes, then throw a few coins at the universe and expect forgiveness. The debt must be paid in full. Watch how they move now. Everything is calculated to generate good karma, but it's all surface level. They volunteer for 1 hour and post about it for 3 days. They donate to causes they don't care about and make sure everyone knows. They share motivational quotes about growth and healing while bleeding from wounds they refuse to acknowledge. The universe sees through this performance. You can't fake spiritual redemption. You can't Instagram your way into grace. The investigation revealed they even tried to recreate the spiritual practices you introduced them to. Remember how they used to mock your morning rituals? Now they're up at dawn trying to manifest their way out of this mess. They bought crystals they don't understand. They burn sage in apartments that can't be cleansed because the real contamination is in their spirit. They speak affirmations to mirrors that only reflect back the truth of what they've become. Empty vessels making empty gestures, hoping the universe might accept counterfeit currency for a real debt. And the payment has already started. The investigation revealed a pattern of losses that will continue until the debt is cleared. First, they'll lose the superficial things, the fake friends, the surface-level successes, the material gains they valued over your heart. Then they'll lose the deeper things, their peace of mind, their sense of self, their ability to trust their own judgment. Finally, they'll lose the thing they fear most, the ability to ever experience again what they had with you. But let's talk about what's happening between these losses. The investigation uncovered a pattern of what the universe calls false starts. Every time they think they're about to recover, something pulls them back down. That promotion they were sure they'd get, given to someone else at the last minute. That new relationship that seemed so promising implodes right when they start feeling secure. That friend group that welcomed them with open arms suddenly turns cold for reasons they can't understand. These aren't random disappointments. These are calculated spiritual corrections. The universe is teaching them the same lesson over and over until they finally get it. You can't build anything lasting on a foundation of betrayal. You can't create happiness from someone else's pain. You can't ascend by pushing down someone who was meant to rise. Every false start is the universe saying, try again, and this time, maybe remember what you destroyed. The most painful part for them, they can see you thriving without trying. While they're desperately attempting to rebuild, you're naturally flourishing. While they're forcing connections, you're attracting authentic relationships. While they're performing happiness, you're genuinely experiencing joy. The investigation shows they spend hours analyzing how you do it, not realizing that your secret is simply being free from them. The universe isn't cruel, it's precise. The investigation determined that the only way for your ex to learn the value of what they lost is to spend the rest of their life looking for it in places it will never be found. They'll search for your energy in every person they meet. They'll look for your frequency in every relationship they enter. They'll chase your ghost through endless connections that leave them emptier than before. Here's something the investigation discovered that even surprised the cosmic auditors. Connections. Your ex has developed what the spiritual realm calls phantom connection syndrome. They feel you in rooms you've never entered. They hear your laugh in strangers' voices. They catch glimpses of your essence in people who share nothing with you except being human. Their consciousness is so desperate to reconnect with your energy that it's creating hallucinations of your presence. They've become archaeologists of their own memories, digging through mental ruins, trying to find where exactly they went wrong. The investigation shows they replay conversations from years ago, editing their responses, imagining different outcomes. They practice apologies they'll never get to deliver. They write texts they'll never send, pouring their heart into drafts that get deleted because they know your spirit has already disconnected from their frequency. What's really destroying them is the knowledge that they had the blueprint for happiness and burned it. You didn't just love them. You showed them how to love themselves. You didn't just support them. You taught them what real support looks like. You gave them the manual for building something beautiful, and they used it as kindling for a fire that's now consuming everything they try to build. 12th, now let's talk about the final verdict from this investigation. Your ex has been found guilty on all counts. Guilty of betraying divine purpose, guilty of attacking a light worker, guilty of conspiring with negative forces, guilty of attempting spiritual murder. The sentence has been passed, and it's already being carried out. The cosmic court didn't just review the evidence, it examined the intent behind every action. When you loved them, it came from a pure place. When you fought for the relationship, it was because you believed in something sacred. When you gave second chances, it was because your soul operates on a frequency of forgiveness that they couldn't comprehend. But when they hurt you, the investigation found premeditation, calculation, and a deliberate choice to cause maximum damage. Let's be clear about what this verdict means. They're not going to jail, they're going through something worse. They're sentenced to live with the full awareness of what they destroyed, without the ability to rebuild it. They're condemned to watch from a distance as you become everything they tried to prevent. They have to witness your evolution, knowing they could have been part of it, could have risen with you, could have shared in the glory that's now yours alone. The universe revealed something profound during the final hearing. Every blessing they experience from now on will be tainted with the memory of you. Every moment of happiness will be interrupted by the thought of what happiness really felt like when you were there. Every achievement will feel hollow because they'll remember how you celebrated their wins like they were your own. They're not banned from joy, they're cursed to experience only shadows of it, always comparing, always finding it lacking, always knowing exactly why it feels incomplete. But here's the plot twist. The universe revealed, the harshest punishment isn't what's being done to them, it's what they're doing to themselves. Every day they wake up remembering what they had. Every night they go to sleep knowing they destroyed it. They're serving a life sentence in a prison of their own making, with memories of you as their cellmate. The investigation documented their self-inflicted torture in excruciating detail. They've become their own worst enemy, their own harshest judge, their own most relentless prosecutor. The voice in their head that used to whisper sweet nothings now screams accusations. The mind that once planned futures with you now replays the past on an endless loop, each replay highlighting another mistake, another moment they should have chosen differently, another opportunity to be better that they rejected. They've created elaborate mental scenarios where they did things right, where they recognized your value, where they protected the connection instead of destroying it. These fantasies are more painful than nightmares because they show a life that could have been theirs if they'd made different choices. The investigation shows they spend hours in these alternative realities only to be yanked back to the cold truth of what actually happened. What's fascinating is how they've become evangelists for not making their mistake. They warn others about taking love for granted. They give advice about appreciating what you have before it's gone. They've become relationship experts, teaching lessons they learned too late. But everyone can see through it. Everyone knows they're just trying to process their own regret by projecting it onto others. They're trying to save other people from their fate while drowning in the consequences of their own choices. The investigation showed something beautiful, though. Your elevation is part of their punishment. Every level you rise reminds them of what they could have been part of. Every blessing you receive highlights what they forfeited. Your success isn't revenge, it's evidence. Evidence that they were the problem, evidence that you were the gift, evidence that they committed the greatest mistake of their existence. But here's what the universe wants you to understand. This investigation isn't about them, it's about you. It's about validating your experience. It's about confirming that you weren't crazy, you weren't too much, you weren't the problem, you were chosen, you were protected. You were right all along. Every instinct you had was accurate. Every feeling you felt was valid. Every tear you cried was witnessed. The universe has been collecting evidence not to punish them, but to vindicate you. Every piece of proof gathered shows you were telling the truth. Every witness statement confirms your innocence. Every document filed proves you were the victim of a spiritual crime, not the perpetrator. You can stop defending yourself now. The case is closed. The verdict is in. You won. But let's talk about what winning really means in this cosmic courtroom. Your victory isn't measured in their suffering, it's measured in your liberation. Every chain they put on you has been broken. Every lie they told about you has been exposed. Every attempt to dim your light has only made you shine brighter. The universe didn't just prove you right, it promoted you to levels they can't even perceive. The investigation revealed something beautiful about your recovery. You didn't heal in spite of what they did to you. You healed because of it, not because pain is good, but because you alchemized that pain into power. You took their betrayal and turned it into boundaries. You took their lies and turned them into lessons. You took their absence and turned it into abundance. You literally transformed their darkness into your light, and that's a level of spiritual mastery they'll never achieve. Here's what the universe wants you to really understand. Your ex served a purpose in your divine journey. They were the resistance that built your strength. They were the darkness that made you seek light. They were the lesson that prepared you for the blessing. Without them, you might have stayed comfortable in a dimension below your destiny. They pushed you out of that comfort zone, not with love, but with pain. And sometimes that's exactly what a chosen one needs to activate their full power. And winning doesn't mean you get them back. That would be a loss disguised as a victory. Winning means you get yourself back, upgraded, activated, and aligned with your true purpose. Winning means you understand now that this whole experience was actually working for you, not against you. The investigation revealed that your ex was never your destination. They were just a catalyst for your transformation. Think about who you were before this happened. You were powerful, but you didn't know it. You were chosen, but you hadn't claimed it. You had gifts, but you hadn't unwrapped them. Your ex's betrayal didn't break you. It broke the shell that was keeping the real you contained. It shattered the limitations you didn't even know you had accepted. It destroyed the smaller version of yourself so the larger one could emerge. The investigation shows that during your darkest moments, when you thought you were dying, you were actually being reborn. Every tear was washing away an old identity. Every sleepless night was a vigil for the person you were becoming. Every moment of rage was your power fighting to break free from restraints you'd placed on yourself to make others comfortable. You weren't falling apart, you were falling into alignment. The universe documented something remarkable. The moment you stopped trying to get them back was the moment you got yourself back. Not the self they knew, but the self you were always meant to be. The self that doesn't shrink to fit into someone else's limitations. The self that doesn't dim to make others feel brighter. The self that doesn't apologize for carrying divine purpose. That's who emerged from this investigation, and that's who they'll spend the rest of their life missing. Remember that opening truth. The universe opened a case file with their name on it. That case is now being used as a textbook example in the spiritual realm, a cautionary tale about what happens when someone attacks a chosen one. Your ex has become the example other spirits reference when warning against betraying divine purpose. Their failure is literally being studied in celestial classrooms, but you've become the example of divine resilience. Your recovery is being celebrated in realms you can't even see. Your rise is inspiring chosen ones you'll never meet. Your story is proof that the universe always protects its chosen, even when that protection looks like abandonment. Especially when that protection looks like abandonment. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. The investigation is complete. The evidence is overwhelming. The verdict is final. Your ex who tried to destroy you is now living with the consequences of declaring war on heaven's favorite. And you're free. Free to rise without weight. Free to shine without dimming. Free to become everything they tried to prevent. This isn't the end of your story. This is the chapter where you discover the villain was actually working for your success the whole time. They thought they were destroying you. They were actually promoting you. They thought they were ending you. They were actually beginning you. The universe used their betrayal as your coronation. You're not just chosen, you're confirmed. The investigation has closed, but your elevation has just begun. Every door they closed led to better ones opening. Every bridge they burned lit the way to better destinations. Every tear they caused watered seeds of greatness they'll never get to witness bloom. You won this case before it even started, because chosen ones don't just survive attacks, they transform them into testimonies. Your ex is under investigation, but you're under construction. They're being exposed while you're being elevated. They're facing justice while you're finding joy. The universe has spoken, and its message is clear. Nobody touches the chosen and walks away unchanged. Nobody attacks divine purpose and escapes the consequences. Nobody, absolutely nobody, tries to destroy heaven's favorite and wins. The case is closed. The chosen one rises. The ex falls. Divine justice prevails. And somewhere in the spiritual realm, your file is being stamped with one word: victorious. Remember this truth as you move forward. You were never the one on trial. You were the evidence of divine favor. You were the proof of spiritual protection. You were the demonstration of universal justice. And now everyone knows it, especially them. The investigation is over. Your elevation continues forever.